The reminders that purify themselves will simultaneously purify samsara. Each time that is used, it is having the mighty power that can purify throughout the whole body. If you use the palms, it will come out through the palms as well. But these reminders can come out throughout the whole body. This is the mighty force. Therefore, continue to bless. It will purify the grossness out of this body mind. Seeing, don't be holding on to seeing. Use the reminders to purify onwards. When you use reminders all the same, it will help to unwinding and releasing simultaneously. There are so many beings, not just the Naka, but there are so many realms of existence in the water, paying back their karmic debts within the water. There are some of them who are half humans, half animals. They have to pay back under the water. Therefore, don't focus on just the Naka realms. Otherwise, it's going to be added on being stuck in the same way as the Naka realms. Use uninvolved within the uninvolvement itself continuously. Release from seeing and knowing from all things, all the stuckness within looking, seeing and knowing, stillness and indifference. Let's not be stuck there, otherwise it's going to be obstructing. Uninvolved, discard the uninvolvement itself. Use the reminders they can hear. Those who can hear, they will hear. But those who cannot hear, they will see the mighty force that comes out. Just consider the circumstance where you are when you do water blessing. If you don't use water blessing, then use the palms. When you use the reminders, it can come out. The anupap, the mighty force will come out throughout the whole body. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind. Maintaining in stillness and indifference is not brightening. It has other colors of the auras. Some of it is green or dark blue, like from concentration. Each aura, it depends on what kind of mind that is there. If it's metta, it's pink. Any emotions is suffering. Contemplation or concentration is also suffering. It's all about realms of existence. But the brightness, some is coming from the merits, some from the unwinding from itself. That is the power of Nirod, of the extinction, natural extinction, releasing from itself. This is clear brightness. It's brightening in itself. It's not holding on to itself. The brightness that comes out from itself is radiating throughout everything. It's not holding on to itself. It's not maintaining itself. Therefore, this kind of brightness cannot be used through making the mind in whatever ways. This is let go of the letting go itself, mind from mind itself only. It cannot be made to become this kind of brightness. Instead, it becomes another kind of color aura. When it's green, light green is from contemplation. When a lot of intentions in the contemplation, then it will be dark green. The samadhi has also different colors, different levels of the colors. It could be purple, and when it's red, it's because too much serious. And sometimes it's become gray, too much obsessed with concentration. That is not brightening. Listen well, because whatever you use the mind, it affects totally with the surroundings and everything. With everything, mind from mind itself, discarding itself. Mind from mind itself is also the extinction within itself, cut through itself. Auto-cutting, auto-extinction is the essence of the enlightenment. Cut through everything. This is true cutting within itself. Everything is cutting on its own. When there is an act of cutting, it will cutting this and that, one or two or three. And there's still a craving in the act of cutting. Mind, purifying mind itself, mind cut through mind itself, mind dissolving mind itself. This is the cutting that is on its own. It ends all about the act of cutting, and within no time in such a way. When you use this kind of reminder, Nirodha is there instantly. The brightness comes out automatically. And we use it with everything for blessing. Whatever that is given here is to be given further on, not to be taken in to oneself. This is not in the way of extinction within extinction, for the sake of extinction, cutting for the sake of cutting. This is the conclusion that is going to be given away for samsara. The conclusion of giving ending for samsara. This is the essence of the great compassion. We have to share the enlightenment, the essence of the great compassion continuously for samsara. Anyhow, we have to continue to give end for samsara so that it can be lightened up. The ending that is for the sake of oneself is not sharing, not distributing. This is the terminologies that purify themselves, reminders that purify themselves, cut through themselves. It is not the kind of recalling or thinking that is drifting away. It is a kind of reminders that purify themselves, auto-purification in themselves. They dissolve themselves. Therefore, it will purify all subtleties within delusions. All the process of delusion will be purified totally. This is the system of titi in this way and that way, opinions in this way and that way. This is a kind of samsara. Whatever ways is not it. No is not know itself. That's why. No is not know itself. Everything is from no is not know itself. Therefore, there is no such thing as oneself, truly. There is only occasional delusive attachment that is arising. Therefore, conclude well. This is the time we come to terms with ending for samsara. So many lifetimes that has been assumed up. Let's conclude to end it, end all karma, all the payback of karma. This is conclusion for samsara, to purify samsara. As if there are a lot of karma, it will be blocking, because it's gonna be just paying back of debts of karma on and on endlessly. When it's time to cut through, to help cut through for samsara, we have to do it. And continue to help through ending. Use the reminders continuously. Mind from mind itself continuously. With everything. Otherwise, your eyes will stuck with seeing, knowing, and looking. Stuck with the body and stuck with the objects of perceptions. Let's use the reminder to purify throughout gates of perception and objects of perceptions simultaneously, helping through releasing for the gates of perceptions and objects of perception simultaneously for samsara. The perceptions personally and as a whole help through unwinding and releasing, because in the past body and mind and gates of perceptions has been added by desire, delusion and delusive attachment with the projection to get, to gain, to have, to be. It's always karma added on. Therefore, purify through the truth of Nirodha and Nibbana. Cannot use other thing else as in mindfulness, concentration and wisdom, sila, samadhi and panya, like there is identity within it. This is a kind of delusion. This is the assume up of opinions, delusive attachment of one's own titi, which is bound by one's own titi, one's own opinions and meanings, and then using titi to grasp for other ways, on and on. Therefore, use titi to purify titi. Titi is the terminologies having auto purification in terminologies that is to be used. Opinions and meanings is the internal terminology. The verbal is external terminologies. Uninvolved within the involvement itself is a kind of terminology, but there is auto purification within itself. It will affect the whole samsara to be purified simultaneously. Therefore, there must be a declaration that use terminologies that purify themselves continuously, because samsara also coming from titi and they live by titi. Therefore, we need to use titi that purify titi, terminologies that purify terminologies. Therefore, they will be possible for ending, helping through ending, and ending is simultaneously proceeding. Some of the Buddha eras, the ending is only just ending accordingly, but some Buddha eras also helping through ending as well. This is the perseverance in the great compassion to help samsara. Therefore, the essence of ending and helping through ending must be simultaneously proceeding. Therefore, this samsara can become Buddha land, Buddha seeds simultaneously, producing the blessers to be there in the samsara. That is to create great compassion in the heart of the samsara. They will continue to bless accordingly, bless beings accordingly. It's called Buddha seed. This is not the production of the agricultural field. The essence of the Buddha land is the great compassion that arises within the heart of the beings in the samsara. And then continue to help give ending without counting times, not conditioned by times. So long as samsara is ending, then ending of great compassion also. Because the great compassion is inspired by samsara. There is no such thing as great compassion that is coming out of the blue. The samutai of samsara inspires the great compassion of all the graces, of the great perfections. Once samsara ended, then the great compassion has not need to be assumed up any longer. So long as samsara still remains, continue to proceed with the great compassion. This has nothing to do with any Buddha eras. Buddha era is created because of there is a lot of perfections from the Mahabharami that has to be coming together as one Buddha era. However, the great perfection, the great compassion must be proceeding forever and ever. All those bodhisattvas, mahabodhisattvas, all graces can be linked with the timing, with the time of the Satyadharma that is declared. At the moment, all those leaders in hell realms have to lead the beings there to end their sufferings as well, to end their delusions as well. Because the karma in the hell realms have to be paid back anyhow. The same as the animals, they are destined by their own karma. Similarly, don't create any belief values in any ways. Help all beings to release their karma, soul and ahosi continuously, leading them in such a way. Good, bad, right, wrong is a tithi, is opinions and meanings. This is when there is punishment, it becomes also karma, which also unfortunate that will make oneself to be destined in hell realms or in any realms of existence to be someone who becomes the authority over there. They have to manage the beings in the hell realms again and again. That is destined by one's own karma. So lead the beings to unlock the karma, helping through unwinding and releasing ahosi and soul. When they end their karma, they can become in other realms of existence as humans or angel realms and purify their characteristic traits further. Once they confront with the essence of the Satyatham, they can refine their own self. There are so many generations who already end their delusions. No one only guarding the realms of existence in heavens on and on. There are the new generations in heaven realms, in hell realms also. Doing merits, making merits, and then taking on one's merits. This is being stuck in such a taking on of one's own creation of merits and taking on one's own merits. Therefore, share and distribute the merits. Share to all beings. Verbally say to all beings, be part of it. And when there is respect in such giving, they will be part of it immediately. This will help oneself to go beyond parami or good merit. This is the liberation in the perfection without attachment to one's own perfection. When you use the parami, it will be automatic, beyond parami, blessing. Automatically, power as teamwork will be helped right away. When you are beyond the perfection yourself, this will happen. It doesn't take in you. The parami doesn't take in anyone, but the people always take in the parami. However, parami is anatta within itself. Grasping is also anatta in itself. Is it funny that using anatta to grasp for anatta? That's why there is the enlightenment from the Buddhas to this truth. Cut through the cutting itself instead. Mind from mind itself instead. It's like this, child. Like this exactly. Eyes and ears just open up. They are there to be open. Don't close them. Because they are the mediums. The reminders of cutting in itself each time. You know that the mighty force will go through the eyes and ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, throughout, further and further. Therefore, conclude through the essence of the enlightenment with everything, mind from mind itself, disengage from disengagement itself. Cut through the cutting itself. This is resolute cutting within itself. You think you can cut this and that? It doesn't grasp you as it is already. This is a kind of deludedly cutting because the cutting is still there. The act of cutting is still there. It doesn't cut through itself yet. Listen again, hear again. It has nothing to do with cutting or not cutting. With everything. It has nothing to do with cutting or not cutting. That which has nothing to do with mind or not mind. Attachment or non-attachment. Then it will be true non-attachment, mind that is not mind. Mind that is not about anything within mind. So use this essence to conclude for everyone and everywhere, for all beings. We are in the same samsara. We just have separated realms of existence, assumed up like that. But everyone, Brahma realm or angel realms, we are still in the same samsara. Humans also in the same samsara. It just divided into different various realms. That's why we have to use everything uninvolved within the involvement itself with everything. This mighty force will help unwind for all realms of existence simultaneously, helping through unwinding for all realms. That's why we need to use the word everything, because it's the essence of the great compassion. If we don't use the word everything, your habits will be specific with just knowing and seeing, looking. It becomes specific with your usage of body-mind. Then there will be no great compassion that is sharing. Great compassion is proceeding simultaneously with everything within this physical world. Uninvolved within the involvement itself is with everything, it is simultaneously proceeding. It is the blessing that is not being specific, that is the universal, that is proceeding simultaneously with the essence all at once. Therefore, the reminders, which has great compassion in itself, to be shared, end and help through ending is one.